is a measure of our strategic autonomy.
That we should have the autonomy to take our own decisions. Because for us, being ourselves and directing ourselves was what independence was all about.
Hello and Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mughira Jaleel. Welcome to Narmas. India is experiencing a dilemma. Should she forego her strategic autonomy and bandwagon the Western and US interests, or stand firm on her foreign policy's strategic autonomy? Indian foreign policy pundits are suggesting her to use its strategic autonomy as a bargaining chip to squeeze in benefits from all. However, this old trick of Indian foreign policy perhaps has run its course. She embraced the West in 2000, projected India as a pivot state, logged in with US as strategic partners, and enjoyed Western goodwill and support for over 2 decades. Any U-turn now would entail a cost as dear as demotion in her present status. Post-Operation Sindoor, India is not happy with Trump, who is continuously embarrassing them by taking credit for the ceasefire. India suspects that the US, by projecting itself as a third-party intervener, is downsizing her status by rehyphenating India with Pakistan. For her strategists, India's outlook is defined by what she opposes. Initially, it was Pakistan, but then it switched to China. So now, again going back to Pakistan would be nothing but downsizing. As per Indian former NSA, Shiv Shankar Menon, India finds the US in retreat from its international obligations. And this means that India will be left alone to play its game. As a regional power, a status that got severely damaged post-Operation Sindoor, India needs a peaceful periphery to grow. And without US support, she cannot do this. Especially once Pakistan, her arch rival, has full and well-synchronized support from China. India's 3 high-level ministerial visits to China within the month show her nervousness. Her media is portraying India's overture as a direct result of Trump's incessant bullying. In decades, Indian Ministry of External Affairs looks out of depth, doing desperate stunts in panic. Jay Shankar, who recently said that you cannot choose between security and economic prosperity in a response to President Trump's statement that if India and Pakistan put aside their conflicts, they could grow rich together, is now begging China to lift sanctions on magnet and fertilizers imports. Mind you, this is happening as China allegedly sits inside India. So we see India ignoring her or even US security concerns when it comes to real economic stakes. India's real problem is her hubris towards smaller neighbors. She can never act as a fair player. To all her neighbors' joy, India is now getting bullied by the US. Not only that, India is pleading China for some compensations. The same country against whom she projected herself to be the vanguard of Western containment policy. India must understand that if it goes ahead with improving relations with China, we see some progress and development on this boundary question, then it means that Modi has abandoned the idea of strategic autonomy in favor of China, something she refused to do for the US, and that the US would not appreciate. So we might see Prime Minister Modi getting into further trouble. One of the outcomes could be unfavorable voting results for Modi in coming Bihar elections. Who knows? Geopolitics is definitely in flux in South Asia. India, who a few years back presented itself as a pivot state, is now limping back and forth for relevance from Western bloc to Russo-China bloc. Her double game, which she always couches as strategic autonomy, stands fully exposed. India is naked, like a vain emperor. She has been tricked by swindlers in her Ministry of External Affairs to believe she looks covered. She is not. If you found the commentary interesting, hit like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay safe and stay kind.